Billionaire Elon Musk ramped up his criticism of the mega bill of President Trump's tax cut and spending priorities, calling the legislation a disgusting abomination. I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. The massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination, Musk posted Tuesday on his social platform X. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it, Musk added. Legislation, officially titled the One Big Beautiful Bill, extends Trump's 2017 tax cuts and boosts funding for border and defense priorities while making cuts to spending on social safety net programs such as Medicaid and food aid. It passed the House last month and is being considered by the Senate, which is expected to make tweaks to legislation. The comments come after top Republicans, including Speaker Mike Johnson, pushed back on Musk, telling CBS Sunday morning last week that the bill undermined the work of the Department of Government Efficiency, which he spearheaded. Johnson said in interviews on Fox News and NBC News in the following days that he had sent a long text to Musk explaining the provisions in the bill, which is not a regular whole of government spending bill, but one that can move through a special reconciliation process that bypassed the Democratic filibuster in the Senate. Anyways, they go a little bit more into what Johnson has said, but just to go back to Musk, it will massively increase the already gigantic budget deficit to $2.5 trillion and burden American citizens with crushingly unsustainable debt, Musk said in the follow-up post. And then they have it to where the White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, mentions that Trump knew where Musk stood on the bill, but it didn't change his opinion. You know what's sad about this is, like, you'll have people who will, like, see this as, oh, see, Trump's people are infighting, and this is great news because someone who was this close to Trump and was being given all these different powers just a short time ago is coming out and opposing his latest measure. But sometimes, and this isn't always the case, but sometimes there are valid reasons to consider why someone may oppose something. So if Musk came out and said, hey, you know what, I did want more government efficiency, stop all the wasteful spending, but I didn't want my fellow billionaires to get off with, tax breaks and to see the poor man or whoever is like on the lower totem of the economic ladder struggling financially and being hamstrung even worse by these cuts to social programs that assist usually lower income individuals. If he came out and said that, I would, even if I thought he was full of crap, not sincere, just judging by his time as a member of Trump's White House, I would still say, okay, at least he's opposing it for reasons that are valid. But the deficit, really, that's why you're against this bill? Are you kidding me? I don't know, maybe people forget, but like when they do polls about how, most Americans care about the economy, or that tends to be their number one issue, they're talking about, whether they can feed themselves, whether they can afford to live somewhere. And the budget that Trump is proposing plays into that fear of economic uncertainty when you're talking about making cuts to social programs that help a lot of poor people. But their number one priority, now I would say even number 20th priority, is not going to be the deficit. Most people, if they're struggling financially, couldn't give a damn one way or the other if the deficit increases or decreases. It's just not that big of a deal to people in general. And that's what's so sad about Musk coming out and making these comments, because you'll see, someone who will like look at this as a good thing, but really it's just another example of where, he knows that no matter what Trump does economically, at least anything that's feasible, because Trump's not going to, go and tax the rich or do anything that's in the favor of the supposed common man. He knows, as one of the wealthiest people in the world, he's insulated from anything that Trump would do financially. So he has the time to sit here and get caught up in the minutia of whether or not the deficit raises, or it's sad because it just shows you how like out of touch the people who are in positions of power in the richest country in the world are, and how ironically enough, despite so many of us struggling financially, we're run by a bunch of suit-wearing wealthy bastards that don't see the plight of the common man is not something they have experienced and or ever going to experience. So they have the time to get caught up on stuff like this.